Hello everyone. So it's a shorter video. I just did a Forgotten History video about white slave trade, and I was just kind of scrolling through to see what else they had, and the Siberian tiger massacre of the 1920s Russia. Now this is not Ghost in the Darkness, because that was two tigers in Africa. Great movie. Unfortunately, it's a true movie, but it's really good. Sad. So let's get into this and see what this is about.
Between 1923 and 1926, for the masses in 3 villages, they were subjected to not only communism, but after the establishment of the Soviet Union, another terror arrived in far eastern Siberia. What rogue creature hunted the villagers for a period of almost 3 years? How did they stop it? And did the killings ever return? Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, former soldier, Marine Corps Scout Sniper, history professor, historian, and book author, and we will answer these questions and other issues on this segment of Forgotten History.
Interesting.
During the onset of the cold Siberian winter in October 1923, the first killings took place and lasted until April 1924, when the snows began to thaw. People were killed while working outside, and even a few were killed in their homes. Over the next 2 winters, over 30 people would be killed in total. The Kamchatka Peninsula is home to the largest feline predators on Earth, the Amur, or Siberian tiger. They once roamed all over Central and Northern Asia, and today they are still sometimes seen in northern China and Manchuria. According to world-renowned expert Dr. Victor Uden, such an animal must have weighed in at over 800 pounds, making it one of the largest tigers to have ever lived. The tiger was determined to be a male, due to the extraordinary large 8-inch diameter paw prints it left in the deep snow. The hunters, who knew the terrain, found it a very clever and elusive creature, and determined to possibly have a damaged right front leg due to the uneven depth of the impressions and its prints, as well as the uneven gait. Injured tigers that were unable to hunt their normal prey, such as boar and deer, have often found humans an easier target. However, oddly enough, during the short warm months of May through August, there were no attacks in either year. That lured the population into a false sense of security. As the snow fell in the winter of 1924 through 1925, there were more deaths and disappearances of people, as the tigers seemed to roam the region, hitting each of the 3 outlying villages at random, where the many farms were scattered and neighbors were few. Given the wide expanse of the heavily forested areas, where a few people lived in close proximity to each other, often several miles away, it was a natural hunting ground. During this time, the local communist leadership knew that they had a big problem, and they needed help. But sending bad news to Moscow was not looked upon with great interest. Local administrators who could not handle their own oblast or district for any reason often fell afoul of their masters in the Kremlin. And after Vladimir Lenin died and Joseph Stalin took over the country, apprehension at sending bad news only increased. Hoping to handle the situation themselves, they authorized weapons to be issued to select men who were to track and kill the tiger, which lasted all that winter. But the tiger was never caught, and the attacks continued. The tiger had imprinted upon one young villager it attacked, who survived, remembering his scent and tasting his blood. The young man had also apparently wounded the tiger, but it ran away as more hunters ran to the scene.
So this thing smells his clothing and tastes his blood, picks up his scent, and knows, okay, I didn't kill him, but he did hurt me, so now I'm pissed. What a very angry tiger. He needs some therapy.
The hunting parties were still sent out, but even the hunters were being killed. and the mayor had no choice but to reach out for help. The closest military installation was in Vladivostok, on the Pacific coast, so a request was sent. This was not simply a request to help the various villagers. There was a hard coal mine used for the steel industry that was also under threat, and workers had apparently been killed, and any reduction in coal production meant trouble. The request was received, and a Red Army company comprised of soldiers and Marines were tasked to locate and kill the rogue man-eater. But it took them almost 2 weeks to arrive by rail and then over land. The Red Army also used an aircraft to try and spot the tiger, but without success, and a tiger was later killed. However, it was determined by the hunters not to be the man-eater due to the paws being too small. However, the local communist officials disregarded this assumption. They needed a victory. Complacency once again set in, as many people believed that the rogue tiger had been killed. Unfortunately, they were wrong. The last killings took place during the winter of 1925 through the spring of 1926. By the spring of 1926, at least 34 people were known to have been killed, but another 24 or more people had disappeared without a trace. Then, as mysteriously as the killings began, they stopped. The tiger never returned. Did the tiger die, or just move on to a safer killing ground due to the massive hunts? This is hard.
I don't know. If it was having so much luck, it had to have died or gotten injured. Ooh. Maybe its last kill, it got severely injured and ate some of the person and then went off and died on its own. You know? I mean, maybe it was injured enough to where it died. But I don't see it just leaving on its own. You know what I mean? Like, all right, the heat's getting on me right now, so I'm going to have to skedaddle for a few years. I don't see that happening at all. No animal's going to leave its food source unless it's a person. People just, nomads just going to go wherever and try to find a new source of food or water. But I don't see animals doing that. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're capable of it. I just don't believe that it did. I bet you it was wounded and it died.
To determine, as no predator would normally leave such a target-rich environment. With the heavily forested mountainous regions, freshwater lakes and rivers, the tiger was in a perfect location, especially with human prey in the area. Over the decades, this story went...
And to the tiger, it's kind of like, look, I'm eating these people, right? And then these people come out with big, like this. That tiger's probably thinking, oh, they've come out with giant toothpicks for me. After I eat them, I can pick my teeth clean. Because people are stupid to this tiger. So this tiger's just going to keep on snacking. And they're probably walking out in the woods smoking. And the tiger's just like, yep, yeah, those dummies are out here. They can't smell me smoking because I don't smoke.
From being a minor report and little-known historical narrative, a cautionary tale, if you like, into one of persistent local folklore. Even today in these small villages, mothers sometimes tell their children the story, passed down through several generations. They tell them that if the children are not good, the devil, meaning the tiger, will come for them. So they had better be on their best behavior.
That's nice. That wasn't
the tiger.
We hope you
enjoyed this segment of Forgotten History.
That wasn't the tiger that did it. The tiger that did it was in black and white. Everyone knows that. Well, this is interesting. Doesn't get a lot of publicity. Of course, the 2 tigers in Africa, I want to say they killed a lot more, I believe. But then again, I mean, in 2 years, this one got 30, possibly 30-something, possibly 50-something. That was a hungry tiger. Okay, I'm going to end this here. Like and subscribe. And until the next one, have a good day, have a good night.